known as crossings. This is a clinic environment and the opportunities here are 100% in person.
So at the Unity Clinic, we provide a variety of services to populations that are either uninsured and or do not qualify for insurance. So what kind of learning opportunities and activities are there for students or practicum students? So we are currently at Unity Clinic. You can do mobile units. There's interprofessional education that you work with different interdisciplinary teams, so that be MD, PA, and P providers. There's residents as well, med students, nursing students, pharmacy students, nutrition, PT, OT, and sometimes dental comes in depending on the patient. Advocacy, lots of advocacy, mental health assessments, resource education, and then also just bridging the gap between communication with different teams and patients with providers as well.
Excellent!
That's it. So I would show you, but it's locked. But we usually meet in an office kind of back in there to discuss our options, and that's where we go into work on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Friday mornings.
So when we look at the learning opportunities for practicum, they are vast. So there's a lot of different places you can hone in on and participate with. But I think one of the equally important opportunities is what people hope to learn out of practicum. And so for me personally, I hoped to understand a better knowledge of how medical social work works, a better understanding of the medical world, and then a better understanding of how to work together as a team. And communicate through those difficulties or things that you may not agree on, but learn to do that professionally. And I think that that's a really good learning opportunity for students because we're often surrounded by like-minded people until we kind of get out into the real world.
Great!
So some travel is required. Our address is 22 Northwest 12th Street here in Midtown, Oklahoma City.
So when do we need to be here, you may ask? Well, technically, working hours are between 4:30 and 9:30 on Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, and then from 7:30 in the morning on Friday mornings to about 11:30 or 12:30. Really just depends on how many patients are here.
What challenges look like at Unity Clinic. So one of the biggest ones is not having a clear understanding of what social workers can do in the medical field. Part of that comes from the agency itself, and then part of it comes from a misunderstanding between different people. So we have questions ranging from, oh, I thought you worked with kids, to, oh, you can actually do mental health assessment. So a lot of it is taking that as a challenge and then figuring out a way to weave ourselves into sort of arena that med students are in and nursing students, all that jazz. That leads into making sure that patients are heard, which can be a challenge, especially because advocacy looks different in each of the roles that we have at Unity Clinic. So the way that Tanya and I might advocate for somebody is different than how a pharmacist would advocate. But at the end of the day, sometimes we all team up at the same time and come up with the same answer. It just looks different. And I would say that those are incredibly rewarding in themselves. So I think the biggest reward is navigating through those challenges and learning how to work with those different fields because it's never boring. And at the end of the day, you will always have something else to pass on.
So sometimes it can get a little messy in communication-wise since there's so many moving parts. Like today, we were going to come in and film, and they are closed until the 20th of March. But that's okay. Things happen.
So with that, communication is super important, not only between providers and patients, but also between peers. So reception, interdisciplinary teams, so how we're communicating student to student. Also with your field instructor, field preceptor. So there's a lot of moving parts. Communication is key. Another thing is we do serve a high population of non-English speakers. So making sure that we have the proper medical interpreters on site or to assist our patients with is super important, not just having an ad hoc interpreter. So as you guys can see, communication is key at Unity Clinic. What do we wear at Unity Clinic? You have different options, but we like to look the same with everyone else in a team, with the interprofessional, interdisciplinary team. So we wear scrubs just like everyone else. You definitely can get a discount at different medical supply stores, so definitely check those out.
So professionalism at Unity is a learning process for everybody involved because it is a student-based, student-led clinic. But of course, we always want to have those introductory ideas of respect for each other's disciplines. And a lot of the professionalism is kind of come as you are and then learn as you go. Yeah, it's a really interesting process to watch.
If you're interested in medical social work or one-on-one assessments with patients, I definitely recommend the Unity Clinic. Yeah, it's a really good way to get into the medical community and to see how everybody learns. Thank you. Bye.